Imagine waking up, walking to your kitchen, and seeing a carton containing 20 large eggs. Now, imagine eating every single one of them, not just today, but tomorrow, the day after, and every day for the foreseeable future. To the average person, this sounds like a nightmare of cholesterol and indigestion. But to a specific subset of the fitness world, and historically to some of the most famous bodybuilders of the golden era, this is known as the ultimate anabolic secret. But what actually happens inside your human physiology when you introduce this level of extreme nutrition? Does your heart immediately struggle under the weight of the fat? Do your muscles instantly grow? Or does your digestive system simply shut down? Today, we are simulating this extreme biological experiment to see exactly how your body transforms, hour by hour and day by day. To understand the impact, we first have to look at the payload. Eating 20 eggs means you are consuming roughly 1,500 calories, 140 grams of high-quality protein, and about 100 grams of fat. But the number that scares doctors is the cholesterol. A single egg contains about 185 milligrams of cholesterol. Multiply that by 20, and you are hitting 3,700 milligrams. For context, the standard health recommendation for decades was to stay under 300 milligrams a day. You are exceeding that limit by more than 1,200%. So, let's begin the timeline. Day 1 is surprisingly easy. In fact, you might feel better than you have in years. Eggs are one of the most bioavailable foods on the planet. They score a perfect 100 on the biological value scale, meaning your body can utilize almost every gram of protein you ingest. As you consume this massive amount of nutrition, your blood sugar remains perfectly stable. Because eggs have virtually zero carbohydrates, you are not triggering an insulin spike. You don't get the post-lunch crash. You don't get the brain fog. By the afternoon of day 1, you experience a sensation of extreme satiety. The combination of high protein and healthy fats triggers the release of satiety hormones like peptide YY. You simply cannot think about food. Your body is busy breaking down the complex amino acid chains, and for the first 24 hours, your system is running like a high-performance engine. But by day 3, the chemistry starts to shift, and you enter the second phase, the adaptation and the purge. Since you are eating almost zero carbohydrates, your body depletes its glycogen stores, the sugar stored in your muscles and liver. Once that sugar is gone, you enter ketosis. Your liver begins breaking down fats for fuel. For many, this transition comes with the keto flu. You might feel headaches, lethargy, and irritability as your brain switches fuel sources. Simultaneously, the people around you might start noticing something else. The sulfur. Eggs are rich in sulfur-containing amino acids. This is great for your hair and nails. But when you consume 20 a day, your gut bacteria have to adapt to process that load. As your microbiome shifts to handle the influx of protein and sulfur, the byproduct is hydrogen sulfide gas. By day 3 or 4, you will likely experience significant bloating and gas that is noticeably potent. Your body is effectively running a chemical plant in your large intestine to manage the waste products of such high protein intake. However, if you can push past the social awkwardness and the initial fatigue, something fascinating happens around the 1-week mark. This is the phase the old-school bodybuilders chased. This is the anabolic window. There is a theory that dates back to the diet of Vince Gironda, the iron guru, who trained the first Mr. Olympia. He believed that consuming massive amounts of eggs was similar to a mild cycle of steroids. While science tells us it's not quite that dramatic, there is truth to the chemistry. Cholesterol is a steroid lipid. It is the raw building block from which your body manufactures testosterone. By flooding your system with the precursors for hormones, combined with a surplus of healthy fats and vitamin D, you create the optimal environment for hormonal health. If you are training hard in the gym during this experiment, you will likely notice that your recovery time accelerates. The high dose of leucine, a primary amino acid in eggs, triggers muscle protein synthesis effectively. You might feel stronger, denser, and more aggressive in your workouts. Furthermore, You are ingesting a massive amount of choline. Most people are deficient in choline, which is essential for synthesis of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. With 20 eggs, your brain is bathed in choline. You might find your focus sharpening, your reaction times improving, and your cognitive stamina increasing. You are fueling your brain with high-octane premium gas. But now we have to address the elephant in the room: the heart attack. If you do this for a month, are you clogging your arteries? This is where modern science contradicts the old wisdom. For decades, we believed that eating cholesterol equaled high cholesterol in the blood. It turns out, the human body is much smarter than that. Your liver actually produces the vast majority of the cholesterol in your body because it is essential for cell membranes and hormone production. When you eat a huge amount of cholesterol, like 3,700 milligrams from 20 eggs, your liver detects this signal and simply down-regulates its own production. It stops making it. For about 70% of the population, dietary cholesterol has a negligible effect on blood cholesterol levels. However, there is a catch. The remaining 30% of people are what doctors call hyper-responders. For these people, this diet is dangerous. Their bodies cannot regulate the influx efficiently, and their LDL particle count, the bad cholesterol, will skyrocket. Without a blood test, you have no way of knowing which group you fall into. You could be optimizing your hormones, or you could be accelerating the plaque buildup in your arteries. As we move into the second week of this experiment, another risk factor emerges that has nothing to do with the heart, the kidneys, and the sweat. When your body metabolizes this much protein, the byproduct is ammonia. Your liver converts this ammonia into urea, which your kidneys then filter out through urine. On a 20-egg-a-day diet, your urea cycle is working overtime. If you are not drinking a gallon of water a day, your urine will become concentrated. You stress the kidneys. Furthermore, ammonia can escape through your sweat. By day 10, you might notice a distinct ammonia-like smell on your skin and in your gym clothes. This is literally your body trying to sweat out the excess nitrogen that it cannot process fast enough. There is also a specific danger if you are eating these eggs raw, Rocky Balboa style. Raw egg whites contain a protein called avidin. Avidin binds to biotin, a B vitamin, and prevents your body from absorbing it. If you cook the eggs, the avidin is deactivated. But if you are drinking 20 raw eggs a day, within a few weeks, you will develop a severe biotin deficiency. This leads to hair loss, scaly skin rashes, and neurological issues. So, if you are doing this, you must cook them. So, what is the final verdict of the 20-egg experiment? If you survived a month on this diet, your body composition would likely change drastically. You would have stripped away body fat due to the lack of carbohydrates and the high satiety of the protein. You would likely have retained or even gained muscle mass due to the high nitrogen balance. Your brain would be sharp from the choline. But socially, you would be difficult to be around due to the digestive gases. Internally, you would be putting a heavy filtration load on your kidneys. And if you are a hyper-responder to cholesterol, you would be doing invisible damage to your cardiovascular system. The human body is incredibly adaptive. It can survive on 20 eggs a day. It can even thrive on it for a short period. But just because you can, doesn't mean you should. The 20-egg protocol is less of a diet and more of a metabolic stress test, a fascinating look at how our biology handles extreme inputs, balancing the line between supernutrition and toxicity.